job was to leave the game better than I came into it. You think Cheryl Miller is resentful for me that I had a league to play in? No, she's being the mentor that she is, and she's supporting and loving and sitting courtside cheering on Juju Watkins. And I'm doing the same for Caitlin Clark and all the women in the WNBA.
The WNBA is currently experiencing an unprecedented surge in popularity, shattering viewership records and igniting a passionate fan base unlike anything seen before. But behind the headlines of soaring ratings and new superstar power, a shocking truth has been exposed, revealing a seismic rift in leadership that has fans, players, and even top analysts openly questioning the league's future. At the heart of this storm, a legendary figure, Candace Parker, who just unleashed a scorching critique so powerful it felt less like commentary and more like a mic drop from the heavens, a direct, undeniable challenge to Commissioner Cathy Engelbert that sent shockwaves through the entire basketball world.
Candace Parker ended up dropping some big facts on First Take, man, talking about resentment on younger players from older players and retired players. She had a great dialogue.
Forget subtle. This was a full court press of facts, frustration, and fire, leaving executives sweating and fans gasping. Parker didn't just dance around the issue. She dunked straight on Engelbert's handling of the league, exposing what many have been whispering for months. It wasn't a gentle nudge. It was a straight up verbal fast break that pulled back the curtain on a crisis of leadership that has long been brewing.
When we look at the WNBA, whether we've speculated about resentment or whatever it is, ultimately it comes down to the fact that there were an abundance of women in the WNBA doing tremendous work on behalf of the WNBA and the game of basketball, and you just sense that folks were feeling an absence of appreciation for what they had done and what their collective contribution was to bring the WNBA to where it is now and where it evidently is going. Can you speak to that collective frustration that some may have been feeling and whether or not you think it's something that's being overcome as you all thrive and move forward and continue to promote and uplift this league?
This wasn't just a misstep, it was an astonishing display of a commissioner seemingly out of touch with the very league she's supposed to lead. We're talking about Cathy Engelbert, who has been making headlines for all the wrong reasons lately. Remember that bizarre comment she made about Caitlin Clark potentially getting hurt? When directly asked about the Clark phenomenon, Engelbert couldn't even bring herself to give the talented rookie her proper recognition without immediately shifting focus to other players. No league's ever about one player, she claimed, then added the most tone-deaf remark imaginable. That player could get hurt or whatever. Are you serious? Your league's biggest star, someone who has attracted millions of new viewers, and you casually mentioned that she might get injured. That kind of comment shows a disturbing lack of awareness and leadership, leaving fans not just frustrated, but utterly bewildered. And it gets even worse.
W has grown so much, and it's just been amazing to watch. When you put it on television, the numbers don't lie, and visibility matters. Being able to have slots on ABC and ESPN. I know a couple years ago was the first time that the NCAA tournament was put on ABC, and we saw what the viewership looked like. So just looking at the growth of the league, the style of play, now there's being expansion teams and all that stuff. So as a fan, as a lover of the WNBA, I'm excited where it's at.
When directly questioned about the deeply concerning racist and toxic behavior directed toward players like Caitlin Clark, Engelbert completely fumbled her response. Instead of taking a firm, unwavering stand against racism, misogyny, and harassment, she offered a vague answer about rivalry being good for the league. The WNBA Players Association was forced to publicly criticize her for failing to address the serious issues their players face. This is the person tasked with leading women's basketball into the future, the commissioner who's supposed to protect and promote the league's biggest stars. Honestly, it's hard to see how her leadership inspires confidence or respect when confronted with such blatant missteps, leaving a void where clear, decisive action is desperately needed.
I'm like Candace Parker, look, you shouldn't feel that way. The same way she brought up the idea of Cheryl Miller supporting her, that's how everybody should be. But it's more so of they want to paint the narrative that it's a white and black thing going on. And now that toxic energy is spilling over to people who don't even watch the games. So now they feel like they are a part of the league just because they know or feel like they know what's going on with the race thing. Like, cut it out, man.
In a truly powerful contrast, while Cathy Engelbert has been fumbling the PR playbook, offering lukewarm takes, and missing the moment to elevate the league's biggest rising star, Candace Parker delivered a masterclass in leadership. With grace, clarity, and unapologetic honesty, Parker didn't just defend Caitlin Clark's impact, she amplified it, reminding everyone that true growth in the WNBA means celebrating new stars, not minimizing them. When legendary analyst Stephen A. Smith, never one to shy away from the tough questions, sat down with Candace Parker on ESPN's First Take and went straight for the jugular, he brought up the elephant in the WNBA locker room, the growing buzz about resentment toward Caitlin Clark.
And when questioned about the racism and sexism some of the players in the W were facing, she compared it to the Magic Johnson-Larry Bird rivalry as no big deal. Actually something that the league wanted to see.
Are veteran players feeling overshadowed? Is the spotlight shifting too fast? Smith asked what everyone's been thinking, but few have dared to say out loud. And with Candace Parker across from him, it was the perfect storm of insight, honesty, and a long overdue conversation about the tension brewing in this bold new era of women's basketball.
Now everybody has a Twitter finger. Everybody can have reach to, the WNBA and make comments. But really the key is, let's keep it about basketball. That's my thing. And when we do that, then we're able to really grow the game and what it represents. There are some talented players that have been in this league. But now, because of visibility, listen, I still know the Dominique Wilkins. I still know, all of those players, the Dr. J's and all that stuff. I don't think they're not salty that MJ came along and grew the game. I mean, that's what it is. And so I think that the WNBA as a whole is in an amazing place. Now it's about business to me. It's about taking care of business and making sure. I would like to see, and I'll say this in the CBA, I would like to see more roster spots, because we can't have 11 or 12 women on a team. You gotta, lean into the player growth and player development.
Parker responded with a clarity and wisdom that makes you wonder why she isn't leading the entire league herself. My goal was to leave the game better than I found it, she declared. She posed a powerful question. Do you think Cheryl Miller is resentful that I had a league to play in? No, she's being the mentor that she is, supporting and loving, cheering on Juju Watkins. And I'm doing the same for Caitlin Clark and all the women in the WNBA. That's the sound of a true leader speaking, someone who genuinely understands what the WNBA stands for, what it represents, and what it needs to keep growing. It's the complete opposite of what we've seen from Cathy Engelbert, and it reflects real passion and a commitment to lifting others, embodying the spirit of mentorship and progress the league truly needs. But this was just the beginning of Parker's revelations.
Merchandise sales were also up 450% for the WNBA, according to Fanatics, and Clark was the top-selling player and is fifth among athletes across all sports. Fanatics also reported a 100% increase in sales for WNBA-specific merchandise. It started with Caitlin Clark. And so now that we know all of this, and we've known that for months, now we get to turn around and look and see what exactly is it that the league will do, knowing that she's out for the next 2 weeks.
But that wasn't the whole story. What makes this situation even more impactful is a shocking revelation that vividly illustrates the fundamental difference between Parker and Engelbert's leadership styles. Consider the charter flight situation, a topic of massive importance to player well-being and league professionalism. According to Parker herself, the announcement of the WNBA's groundbreaking $50 million commitment to provide chartered flights was made on the very day she announced her retirement. "This has got to be on some bullshit," Parker recounted, describing the moment. After sharing her farewell post and shedding a few tears, Cathy Engelbert took the opportunity to highlight the league's new policy, emphasizing chartered flights for all players.
Happening. Tell us what happened. Tell us when it happened. Tell us the measures that you plan to put in place to stop this from happening. Put a name on it, Cathy. You come out and talk to the league. You come out and talk to the media. You come out and talk to the fans about what's going on.
While some might dismiss this as a mere coincidence or poor timing, Parker's candid frustration underscores a deeper issue with Engelbert's leadership, a profound disconnect from the players who laid the groundwork for the league's current success. Parker dedicated 16 years of her life, risking her body, winning championships, and elevating women's basketball. For the league to unveil such a significant improvement in player conditions just as a veteran star steps away feels deeply misaligned and sends a troubling troubling message about priorities and timing. Whether intentional or not, it reflects poorly on league leadership, suggesting a focus on optics and PR rather than genuine recognition and appreciation for those who built the league's foundation. Parker's stance emphasizes the crucial importance of authentic acknowledgement and respectful timing in true leadership. This particular incident only fueled the growing unrest among the fan base.
It's turned her Twitter private. She hasn't proven or provided evidence that she was at the game yesterday. People who barely watch basketball or grift for engagement picked up on it and it blew up. There's yet to be any video evidence.
The reverberations of Candace Parker's comments have ignited a massive wave of praise across social media, becoming a rallying point for supporters utterly frustrated with the league's current direction. Fans are applauding her for demonstrating authentic leadership, with countless remarks like, "Finally someone with common sense," and "This is what real leadership looks like." For months, fans have expressed growing disappointment with Commissioner Cathy Engelbert's leadership, criticizing her for minimizing Caitlin Clark's impact, mishandling sensitive issues like racism and toxicity, and appearing severely out of touch with what the league truly needs to grow.
Charter flights.
Yeah.
The day I retired, I said, this
Literally.
bullshit. This has got to be on some bullshit. They said chartered flight. Like, literally, I pressed send on the little retirement post, shed a little tear, and then Cathy Engelbert want to come out and be like, chartered flights for the whole league. I said,
Yeah.
but I'm
great.
happy for y'all. I am. I'm happy. No, but it shows, and that's the thing is like the player experience
Means something.
it means so much, because when you are taken care of and all you have to think of is this, and it's just easier, you play better because that's all you have to think of.
Stephen A. Smith, one of Caitlin Clark's biggest advocates since her entry into the league, clearly understood the profound depth of Parker's message. His reaction during their conversation revealed that he truly gets it. He knows what the WNBA desperately needs right now. For months, Smith has hammered home how crucial Caitlin Clark is for the league's growth and success. Meanwhile, he has watched Engelbert stumble through interviews, failing to acknowledge Clark's remarkable influence. When Smith sits across from Candace Parker and hears her speak with such insight and clarity about supporting the next generation, it's obvious he's thinking the same thing many fans are. Why isn't this woman leading the league? Parker's wisdom underscores her unparalleled leadership qualities and highlights precisely what the league needs to truly thrive. Her unique understanding of the league's inner workings is no accident.
Rivalry is super important. I think conversation is super important. You know, I tuned in when Kevin Durant went back and played Russell Westbrook, and they bumped shoulders and everybody was tuned in. But I want to keep it within the lines of the game. And I think that's what's the most important.
What makes Parker's perspective so uniquely powerful is her own journey, a path she shares with the league's newest sensation. She's not just a commentator, she was once that transformative figure herself. When Parker entered the league in 2008, she made history as the first player to win both Rookie of the Year and MVP in the same season, a feat that shocked the basketball world. She carried the immense weight of high expectations and intimately understood the responsibility of being a face of the league, navigating the intense spotlight and the pressures that come with elevating the game. That's precisely why her comments about Caitlin Clark carry so much weight. They come from a deep well of personal experience and genuine respect for what it takes to be a trailblazer.
To all the fans, the WNBA fans, the black women, get used to everyone talking about Caitlin Clark until she retires. And then after she retires, she's still gonna be talked about. Because we never seen nothing like her. So get used to it. You can keep bringing up the fans. You can keep bringing up pathetic stuff. You can keep bringing up non-irrelevant stuff that nobody cares about. Y'all can keep bringing that because y'all gonna keep bringing up color, race. If this was any other sport, I'm telling you now, they would not care. I don't care if you blue, purple, orange, yellow. They don't care. They're gonna talk about you. But get used to everyone talking about Caitlin Clark until she retires.
When Stephen A. Smith inquired about the frustration some veteran players might be feeling, Parker didn't dodge or make excuses. Instead, she responded with absolute clarity and purpose. Let's keep it about basketball. Those 5 simple words encapsulate a powerful philosophy, focusing on the sport and its integrity rather than distractions or manufactured controversy. Parker emphasized that when the league centers on the game, it can truly grow in a meaningful way. That's my thing. When we do that, we're able to really develop the league and what it stands for. So I think the WNBA as a whole is in an amazing place. Her message is crystal clear. Keep the focus on basketball, on the players, and on the competition. She continued, rivalry and conversation are important, but I want to keep them within the lines of the game. That's what's most important. Parker's approach shows a profound understanding that excitement, drama, and compelling storylines can exist without descending into toxicity or chaos. Her emphasis on integrity, focus, and respect for the game offers a blueprint for leadership that could elevate the entire league to unforeseen heights. Let's be frank about what we're witnessing. When a retired player exhibits stronger leadership, better communication, and a clearer understanding of what the league needs than the current commissioner, that signals a serious, undeniable problem. When fans are openly calling for that retired player to take over the commissioner's role, it indicates nothing short of a crisis. Cathy Engelbert's time at the helm has been characterized by missed opportunities, ineffective communication, and a seeming inability to fully support and elevate the league's biggest stars. She's had multiple chances to demonstrate strong, decisive leadership, especially around issues like racism and player safety, but has consistently fallen short. Meanwhile, the league's growth continues, driven almost entirely by the unprecedented impact of players like Caitlin Clark. Merchandise sales were up a staggering 450% for the WNBA, according to Fanatics, with Clark herself as the top-selling player, ranking 5th among athletes across all sports. Fanatics also reported a 100% increase in sales for WNBA-specific merchandise. This monumental financial and visibility growth is happening despite the leadership vacuum, not because of the commissioner's strategic vision. It reveals a fundamental disconnect, a profound miscalculation by the very person charged with steering the league's destiny. In stark contrast to the missteps and awkward responses, Candace Parker has exemplified what true leadership looks like. She has shown vision, integrity, and a moral compass that the league desperately needs right now. Her approach to supporting emerging stars like Caitlin Clark while respecting the veterans who paved the way is precisely what the league needs. Her focus on keeping the game centered on basketball, alongside her acknowledgement of broader cultural conversations surrounding the sport, exemplifies the nuanced leadership required during this pivotal moment for the WNBA. The key question now is whether league ownership and the board will finally recognize what fans, players, and respected analysts have already seen, that the WNBA deserves leadership commensurate with the incredible talent and potential of its players. Candace Parker has provided a compelling, undeniable example of what effective leadership looks like, marked by integrity, vision, and deep respect for the game and its athletes. The responsibility now lies with the league to act. The players, the fans, and future generations of stars like Caitlin Clark all deserve leadership that will protect, elevate, and truly celebrate their contributions. Candace Parker has clearly shown the path forward. The question remains, will the WNBA be wise enough to listen and, more importantly, act accordingly? Or will they let this golden era be marred by a leadership crisis? The eyes of the basketball world are watching.